Recently, Ohio for Freedom, Everett Gagnon, has brought about the information regarding the first book. And in fact, Joni's first book kind of came out while they're all pretending that the 7-year affair hadn't happened. And she just shoved that all aside. Nobody really knows about, how they conducted themselves because everything was so secretive. And unless, Jeanette, what was her, Hawkins, right? Jeanette Hawkins. Unless Jeanette had come out with the other two to basically bring some accountability, which was then turned on them, calling them blackmailers. But unless that had happened, we wouldn't know a lot of, well, we may never have known any of this, to be honest. But you were there when the book came out. So what do you remember about that era?
Well, so I got to design that cover. And I was excited for that opportunity. I was still a junior designer there at the time. And so Jeanette really took a chance on me, hiring me to work there. And so this was kind of my first big project that I got to do. And I was very excited to do it. And so the original cover that I designed, the publishers rejected it. And I was kind of hurt by that, but Jeanette explained to me that the cover needed to be predominantly Joni's face. And the original cover I had designed was predominantly typographical because that's my forte in graphic design, is fonts, lettering, that kind of thing. So I redesigned it, with Joni's face as the prominent feature of the cover. And I asked her why. I said, nobody really knows who Joni is. Why would you put her face prominently on the cover when, outside of these four walls, she's really not that well known? And she said the publisher said that's exactly the reason. They were trying to establish her brand, establish her name, establish her presence, and because in publishing, there's kind of two worlds. There's a fiction world and there's the nonfiction world. And you can take a chance on an unknown name like a J.K. Rowling, and because the story's good, and end up with a Harry Potter. But in the nonfiction world, you have to have a following and you have to have a baseline in order for a publisher to even take a chance on you. So that's what they were trying to do with this book, was establish her following. So that was just interesting for me to learn that. But then fast forward, I remember one day, a friend of mine down in the mailroom was up in my office with me, and they were lamenting the fact that the mailroom was just full, top to bottom, with books of hers. And I said, gosh, did they get that many orders? Like, why do they have so many books there? And they said, no, they don't have those orders. The Daystar bought them to get her on the bestsellers list. And I think they were going for the Wall Street Journal bestseller list. But anyways, I was just shocked by that. I couldn't believe. I mean, that's just very deceptive. You're either a bestseller or you're not.
And clearly, they had purchased all of these books, as was revealed by Everett Gagnon. And you wouldn't know this, but the invoices are all there, that they purchased the book to give this appearance that she's a bestseller. And I suppose a lot of people do that, but it's not authentic. And so it's just it
does happen in publishing. Yeah, it does happen in publishing. But it is highly frowned upon. And if you're caught doing it, you're usually blacklisted.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah. It's not an acceptable practice. I'm not going to pretend like it's a rare practice. It's not. It does happen. Fiction and nonfiction, it happens. But when it happens, I mean, authors they're shunned, they're blacklisted, they're often not ever offered another publishing deal. I know a little bit about the publishing world. I have books out there. I own a publishing company, so I've researched this and learned a lot through the years. And yeah, it's a thing. There are ways to get on bestseller lists, but the ones who get there legitimately are a whole different ballgame than the ones who get there because they bought their way there. And so for it to be a Christian woman, presenting herself as a pillar of faith in the Christian community, to fake her way onto a bestseller list, maybe in and of itself, it's like, you probably shouldn't have done that. But it sure is one in a long list of evidences of just deceptive practices that don't speak of a high character to me.